Town Centre under any circumstances. We're not going until we give out all of these leaflets. End of story.
Yes, the same grooming scandal that Tommy Robinson was falsely jailed for. We're not lying, there's 77 paedophiles on their way to jail. The first 20 have just been sentenced to well over 10 years each, which seems a bit lenient to me. But as you can clearly see, they are not making it up. And it just so happens, very strange, that every one of the 77 isn't white-skinned English, isn't European heritage. Now, isn't this strange? This is very peculiar, isn't it? Yeah, every one of the 77 paedophiles from a few years ago that were raping 11, 12, 13-year-old girls, that Tommy Robinson quite rightly reported on. You know, if I'd have been there, I would have stood beside him. Yep, it's all true. It's been going on for 20-odd years. At least, well, 30 years, apparently. I witnessed it 23 years ago, not a mile from where I'm sat now. And the local police didn't want to know. Two WPCs, I used to work nights, who used to come in, have a cup of tea and a chat, and I raised, when we were on my own with them, I raised it numerous times. What about all these 12, 14-year-old girls where, you know, they get duped into going into these kebab houses, which are full of, staffed almost entirely by illegal immigrants, fake asylum seekers, or guys that have got with English girls, silly, lonely English girls. I used to live near one, as a matter of fact. Yeah, here we are. 20 members of a vile and wicked grooming gang have been convicted of trafficking, drugging and raping vulnerable girls in a harrowing campaign of abuse across West Yorkshire. But the trouble being, it's not just West Yorkshire, it's all over the land. The police and the police authority have admitted there's at least 71 towns and cities, some of them really well-known names, and obviously it's been endemic in London for donkey's years, but they've hidden it quite well, of course. Not quite as well as the sky-high London murder rates, which we all know about now, but they have managed to keep the lid on most of the rape crimes. This is why we get white flight in London, where they're moving out in droves. Even by me, I've recently met some guys that have moved out of London, and on one occasion, anyway, I asked him, "Well, why have you come up here? You sound a long way from home, mate." He said, "Oh, it's all the Islamists, and your daughters aren't safe to walk to the park or walk to the library or walk to the friends. These guys pull up in Audis, drug dealing characters like these. Most of these will be taxi drivers, not official hackneys, taxi drivers like Uber and private hire taxi drivers where there's no background checks, and there will be pizza, curry and kebab men. I can tell you with absolute certainty, because, as I say, I witnessed it years ago." many years ago, 22 or 23 years ago. I won't pin the date down. So when Tommy Robinson was reporting on these characters here, which you'll recall, he was falsely jailed for. The day he was arrested, actually went online within minutes, and straight away, on the BBC, an Independent, and the Huddersfield Examiner, I got a full list of the names and the offences. You'll probably recall our Tommy. Yeah, you will recall our Tommy. Oh, the sound's gone off for some unknown reason. Never mind. Yeah, here we go. And if I put in Google right now, we will find out very easily that it's not just those 20 going to jail. If I put in 29 Huddersfield rapists, or groomers, call it grooming if you want. There's 30, and there's a few women involved. There we go. I'll just blow it up for you. But if you put in the same, obviously, the same will come up. This is now, which gang is this? Is this the 2-5? It gets confusing because there's so many of the figures. There's a gang of 27 or 29 in 2017 who were jailed. But we just haven't got the resources to keep jailing these guys. I mean, can you imagine how expensive it is with a Crown Court, and you've got barristers on £650 per hour, and that's what they're paid. I know that off a barrister. That was a year or two ago. Yep. Here we go. Between historic offence between 2005 and 2012. As you can imagine, it takes quite a lot of evidence to jail them with this, but some of the girls have been clever enough to keep their underwear and what have you. And I'm going to tell you something very unsavoury, which I found out off a relative who is an NHS nurse, has been for over 20 years. She works in paediatrics, gynecology, end-of-life care, and the latest trick of these weirdos, these racist, supremacist Islamists, because they are, because if you understand Islam or you know anything about it at all, within the first couple of pages of reading the Quran, you know this is no peaceful religion ideology. It's a religion of war, dominance, slavery, perversion. Yeah, here's the list of the perverts. Banaras Hussein, quite an unusual name. Banaras Hussein, another one. That's his brother or something. Mohammed Suhail Arif, Iftikhar Ali, Mohammed Sajjad, Fareen Rafiq, Umar Zaman, Basharat Hussein, another one. 3 of them. They'll all be related, of course. This is what they do. They all have each other's numbers, you see, so they can call in a flash mob. You know, if anyone if the immigration comes and tries to detain them, they can all send a group text and 30 of them will arrive to fight off the immigration officers or the cops. Shakil Hussein, Mubashir Hussein, Abdul Majid, Mohammed Dugar, Osman Ali, Mohammed Waqaz Ankwa, female. Yeah, there's 3 or 4 women because they stood by, and because it's their rights. This is an Islamic man's right to do this, to take the kuffar. So, you know, obviously the women are pretty inferior in our ideology. So, you know, they won't say anything. They'll actually say, "Oh, take her upstairs and we'll get it done." Because if they say a word about it or object to it, they will be under Islam. You know, women are really just like livestock. Really, they will be battered. So I just thought I'd give you this quick heads up. So that's Bryn First and Tommy. Both been targeted, both been called Nazis and racist for showing you these people. And if you go on, you go in Google, put in Huddersfield paedophiles, Huddersfield groomers, Huddersfield rapists, and you'll get a clutch of them. I say there's 77 this year, there were 70 odd last year, and these aren't the only ones. You've got like smaller scale ones. These are the groomers, gang groomers that at work, usually at the kebab houses or in the taxis, befriend these girls, win the trust, and of course, our teachers tell them, "Oh, they're all beautiful people. They're all beautiful people, these. They never harmed a fly. Religion of peace. Oh, lovely, lovely. Yes, you can trust them. You know, if you go to their apartment like you would with, or to a house like you would with a white boy, you know, of your own age, these won't jump on you." Well, they do. They do, because it's their right to do it in their ideology. I'll call it, guys. Don't want to make it too long. But as you see, we're not arresting. We're not kidding. And if you put in Google, you know, grooming gang, the Americans and that Canadians would have to put in, you know, UK grooming gang, of course, grooming gang jail. I mean, a hell of a lot have been hidden. Some of the really nastiest ones. There we go, that's that 20, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, that's the same 20. There's the man pretending to be a Sikh with a yellow turban. And if you put in, here we are, men convicted. You might get a few white guys amongst these. We do exist, you know, there's a few white guys on it. You do get them. Oh no, that's the same gang. That's one of the police officers talking about it. There we are, same guys, yeah. There we go. But if you were to put in another date, or Rotherham, you know, you'll find loads of them. There we go, drug dealers who supplied grooming gang victims and made 93 grand must pay back £1. Oh my God, this is shocking, this. Look at this. Drug dealer who supplied MCAT to vulnerable victims of grooming gangs so it'd make it easier for rape them and knock them out and lose the memory. Made £93,000 from narcotics ploy. He's got to pay back just £1. Why isn't that disgraceful? And he'll come out and he'll still be driving his brand new Audi. Nadeem Aslam. So Google that if you want. I mean, that's shocking. Tyneside, yeah. Tyneside, where before Christmas they caught him. They'd attacked at least 700 girls. And it's not just the fact they rape them, although they try and minimise it. Oh, the girls were asking for it. They wore short skirts. They had a drink of alcohol. Well, these guys buy the alcohol for them, stick MCAT in it and carry them upstairs and rape them every way, you know, anally and everything. And if the girls won't give them all, well, usually they get out razor blades. It's all well practised in their community. They know exactly what to do. You put them under fear of death and make them do what you want them to do. Here we go, as we said. Taxi driver. Jail for 29 years for offences including rape and conspiracy to incite prostitution. So, just by chance I've come across this drug dealing rape gang. And lots of them are drug dealers and illegal immigrants. And this is how basically they make the money, because we don't make much in kebab houses. It's under minimum wage. So it's very hard to get anywhere. So they think, I know, let's sell the dirty kuffar. That's what it calls. Let's sell the dirty kuffar, loads of heroin. You know, they're only scum, they're only animals. You know, they deserve it. So I just thought I'd show you that, guys. Just made it a bit ad hoc. Some of these videos have been restricted, so I've just used my tripod. Okay, see you guys. Bye-bye. That's the truth of what's going on in the UK, and President Trump is absolutely right. Not only do we hate us, but they've hated all of us, all the 5 billion non-members of this ideology. They've hated us for 1450 years. And it will continue so, because the Quran isn't allowed to be changed, and that's what it says to do. Haters, rob our stuff, rob our kids, rape us at will. That's what it says. Okay, see you guys. Bye-bye.